Hello and welcome. Thanks for stopping in. If this is your first time to my channel, I talk about music education, advocacy, and all sorts of policy issues we see at the state and national level. Today's video, we're going to talk about a recent document published by the Missouri School Board Association. So let's get things started here. A few days ago, the Missouri School Board Association posted a 97-page document laying out a pandemic recovery considerations, re-entry and reopening of the school. So that's the title of the document. And you know, I've seen a lot of people reading this now. They're getting caught up and seeing it, and the panic is spreading wider and wider as more people are sharing it and freaking out on their social media. Well, I hope to relieve some of that panic today. I'm going to give you the 3 do-nows for advocating for your music program going back in the fall. Now, we're going to start things off with a little background here. So the first thing, what's in this document? So on page 27 of this document, you'll find Appendix B. Now, Appendix B is the social distancing in the school environment. That's a longer section here talking about what considerations you should be making going forward. Well, if you go to page 28, under the heading Review Course Sizes, Structure, and Classrooms to Decrease Infection, the first bullet point is the one everyone's concerned about, and it reads like this. Cancel PE, choir, band, orchestra, and other large classes, or reorganize to allow for smaller classes, maximum social distancing, and other precautions. It's hard language to read. And yes, my friends, they did not use an Oxford comma. Nice job. So what we're looking at here is really the or section at the end. That's the best case scenario for all of us, and that is certainly what I'm sure your administrators will be expecting as well. Or reorganize to allow for smaller classes, maximum social distancing, and other precautions. Now you really need to read that carefully and not get caught up at the beginning, which is scary, but go past it to the or. Now, that might sound a little better. Obviously, it's not the best situation, which is for this all to go away and for us to live in our happy world of being able to teach band, choir, and orchestra again. You know, we're not going to be able to do that in the fall. It's not going to be traditional ensembles. You have to be ready to change your plan. This is just an example. It is not a requirement that the Missouri School Board Association is putting out. It's just an example of some things you need to consider going forward. So the number one takeaway I have for you in looking at this MSBA document is that you, as a music educator, you need to have a seat at the table. As the saying goes, if you are not at the table, you are on the menu. So make sure you're a part of those discussions going forward. This brings me to my do now number 1. You need to get in touch with your administration. You want to be on whatever committee or group is being formed for reopening schools next year. You want to start off proactive, positive, and come to the table with solutions, not problems. That's the number 1. Administrators always respond best if you are coming to them with a solution, not a problem. Let them know that you're interested in exploring options and you'd like to be on whatever committee or group is being formed to discuss how school will be opening in the fall. I suggest you start your approach proactively and positively. You need to make sure that you're not just linking articles that have caused panic in you and made you freak out, because that's just going to start them on that same path. We're all going to go through the stages of grief. And the sooner we can move forward in those stages of grief toward acceptance, is the sooner we can start getting ready for next year. Do now, number 2. Remember your purpose. You are music educator first, large ensemble director second. So take that to heart. As a music educator, we teach the skills: creating, performing, responding, connecting. Those are our competencies. We often use our large ensembles to teach those competencies. However, we now need to find the way we pivot and focus on those 4 areas without our typical large ensemble structure. So you need to think about the fact that your content is still necessary. Our students need us. They still need that instruction. They still need that support. For many students, we're the ones that sees them for multiple years. We see that growth, we track that growth, and we make those connections, and we're that extra, support system for those kids. They still need that. They crave it. They're crying out for that. Those students are craving that sort of connection. You can still do that in a different environment. You're not going to have your traditional ensembles next year. And the sooner we can accept that and move forward, the sooner you're going to feel a little less of the shock and denial and panic side of the stages of grief. But we need to be ready with multiple solutions. That brings me to do now, number 3. Get ahead of the curve. Sign up for some PD. See how you can blend or flip your classroom experience. What are you going to do? Your administration can actually probably help pay for that PD because there's some special money coming through the CARES Act and some waivers that can help out with professional development. So definitely ask that question. You need to see how you can blend or flip your classroom. Here they are, the big 3. First, do now. Get in touch with your administration. Number 2, remember your purpose. Number 3, get some PD. Be ready to pivot. We don't know the target yet. We need to be ready with multiple solutions so that we come to the table with solutions, not problems, come the fall. So my question for you is, what are you thinking about for next year? What's your pivot going to be? What are your options? What are you considering? Leave me a note down in the comments below and I'll definitely respond back to you. I'm very interested to hear what you guys are doing. We might even feature some of your comments on the next video and give some more ideas for folks to think about. Well, thanks for coming by today. If you got some value out of this video, please do hit like. It does help very much. And if you're interested in finding out more or hearing more about music education and advocacy in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It certainly does help. Thanks.